And now more awesomeness from the Triple Crown Volleyball NIT. The guest list just keeps getting better, honestly. We've had a few other hacks up here and some various who knows who's, but we're getting down to the real stuff now. Thad Anderson back here at the Salt Palace Convention Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. Triple Crown Volleyball NIT, again, 212 volleyball teams here, over 400 college coaches roaming around. We've got a combo meal now with Mario Andaya meeting up with us. Mario, thank you for your time today.
Thanks, sir.
The combo meal here is that you are a college coach, one of the 400 plus, but you're also a club coach, so you're wearing both hats.
Yeah.
And maybe a little more. I don't know what else you're doing this weekend, but
there's a lot.
You didn't help put courts together and stuff yesterday, did you?
I would have, yeah.
Mario is with the Central Region United Volleyball Club, or CRU, CRU, as they shorten it down, and make the team apparel look a little more. CRU looks pretty cool on there. I like the look design. Of that. The president and master coach of the CRU Volleyball Club, Mario, is, and also the head coach at Central Washington University. And did I get this right? Did you just finish your 21st season?
I did.
21 years at Central Washington University, which is, that's no matter where you are. That's, for one, somebody in the administration, at least one person has to like you.
Right, yeah, they do. They're stuck with me for a little bit.
Yeah, it would just be too hard to start over now. 21 years on the college coaching scene. And I guess before we jump to some other things about CRU, what have you seen in the evolution of the game at the college level?
Oh, well, yeah, I've been doing it a long time. And, for one, when I started, I had hair. And so I had to get rid of that real quick. But no, it's been
that was short-lived once you started that profession.
Yeah, for sure. No, but there has been an evolution for sure. I think coaching style is one of them, but also the growth of the game is huge. And just having stuff like this, like tournaments across the country, and this tournament here, I mean, they're just showcasing the growth in this game, and there's just talent everywhere. And so, there's no more hiding kids, no more finding them out of little areas, including where we're at. So it's that growth is huge for sure.
So the Central Washington area that you're in, Central Washington University, the school you're at, and then that's where your players and your juniors club program come from. You're kind of in the Yakima Tri-Cities area.
Correct. Yeah.
So a little more remote. You're not along that California coast or those things.
No. So we're a little bit challenged geographically. So we have a small rural population. So Central Washington University is located in Ellensburg, and for Division II college coaches, we're allowed to coach club within a 100-mile radius. So we draw a 100-mile radius to this club, and it's challenging. These kids have to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours away, over mountain passes, things like that, just to practice. But we want to be able to pull the best kids that we can in our area and get them together and train like-minded athletes together and so forth, and try and compete out in these type of tournaments.
You're talking about the evolution in the college game over the 21 years that you've been coaching. Academics obviously are a theme everywhere, and people want to pick which sport's better, and volleyball is good because of all these things. And we just talked with Lee Feinswag about that. And there's a lot of truth to that, but really, regardless of the sport you pick, it seems to me that most of the people, 80 to 90% of people involved, are trying to do the right things.
Yeah.
And there's that small percentage that kind of can give things a bad name. So when I talk about academics and volleyball in particular, I'm not singling out or saying other sports don't do it. I believe they do.
Right.
But in volleyball, there's a culture there where that academic fit, that mesh of how a young person not only gets a chance to compete at that next level, but also how they do the rest of what they do. And when you're a student athlete, student is put first for a reason in that. I think volleyball has helped lead a charge, in my opinion, on the focus on what it means to be a fully rounded person in that kind of an activity.
For sure. Yeah, you hit it on the head. That there is that culture in our sport. And you look at a lot of these young ladies out here, they're putting in a lot of time in their club, but they also have to keep up their academics. So when they're training hard for these high-level clubs or training programs or so, they're challenging, and then they're having to go home and do their homework and manage their time. They're very prepared for the next level academically at the college scene. And our program, as well as all our others, they do really well GPA-wise, and it's not because of what we do as coaches. It's because they're prepared. This volleyball scene, the culture is they're very prepared to do both and excel both as a student athlete.
Central Region United Volleyball Club. You've got your 18s Baden team here, which you're coaching, and so you're competing here. And you went out and saw some of that top competition this morning already, and
for sure,
the high-level stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Your club, make sure I've got this right, established in 2016, right?
Yeah.
Which was, let's see, if I can track the calendar, that was last year.
Yeah, this is our first season.
So it's first season. So we've got, for example, Norco Volleyball out of Colorado. 32 years they've been around, and you got your T Streets, Munciana, all these that have been around so long. What's it like to be brand new in this environment?
It's incredible. Yeah, and so a lot of these kids that have came over to this club, they've played in these tournaments before, but not together. So we're trying to pull them together. But it's great. Our area needs to be exposed to what else is out there outside of the central Washington State area. And even if we go to the Northwest, there's just another level of volleyball that these kids need to be exposed to and see what else is out there. And that's what we're really trying to offer to these kids. Get them away from their high school club teams and train at a different level if we can, and then come over here and see what we can do. But us hanging with some teams today, I think I was really proud of how they fought and competed. We came here last year. I coached for a different club team, same area, and our 16s team did really well, finished in the top 10. And this team's a little both 16s and 18s. So we combined them, and so they're hanging in there with these big dogs, and it's fun. But we got to see what we can do against these clubs.
Yeah. In the area you are in, you're not too far from Seattle.
No.
And the Huskies have really been raising the profile for a long time now, but the profile of volleyball, I'm sure, in the minds of young women in your state and in your region. And whether it was Jim McLaughlin, who I saw walking by here a minute ago, now at Notre Dame, or Keegan Cook carrying on that tradition. You've got, I'm sure you have a lot of young people in your area who the sport itself, the participation in the game is very attractive, and it's been presented in a way that young people and their parents would love to have them be a part of, so they're looking for opportunities.
For sure. Yeah, no, those guys, Jim and Keegan, and those guys have done such a great job of really expanding, our game in that Northwest area, and then of course all the other Pac-12 schools. I mean, Washington State did really well this year. Oregon's doing their deal, but for us, it just grows the game, and these kids out of the woodworks, from where we're from on the other side of the mountains, they're going to these big-time college games and then heading over and wanting to get exposed to that. So the opportunity, we're trying to create that opportunity, get more of these kids playing, and the growth has been there.
You mentioned Washington State. I mean, could you, for me, it'd be hard to imagine as a parent, if I had a player, I don't have a young woman going into that, but who wouldn't want Jen Greeny working with your kid? I mean, she couldn't be more awesome.
Yeah, no.
And then Burnett, and they got the small town. They're kind of the mayors. They're like the co-mayors of Pullman. So you got all that influence going on with your young players around your area. Yeah. So as you build this club, what have you found with some of these long-established clubs? Because we were just talking a minute ago with Lee Feinswag about how at the college ranks, there's so much collaboration in the sport where it seems like coaches, maybe more than some other sports, really want to try to boost the profile of the game. They want to support each other in every way they can. They want to tear each other apart when they compete across the net. But when that's over, let's all try to keep raising the profile. Yeah. In the club ranks, what have you found? Have you been able to get some good support from some of those long-standing clubs as far as some input and guidance?
Yeah, we have, especially in the Washington State area. There's some bigger clubs just in our area, like Washington Volleyball Academy, Puget Sound. So just some of those areas, they're really buying into what we're trying to do on the other side of the mountains. And so got a lot of support that way. But we've also, I've known, being on the college scene for a while, I have a lot of connections club-wise, and so I'm picking their brain, and they love what we're trying to do over there, so they can just raise the bar a little bit. And, it just creates a little bit more for colleges to come out and see what we got, in our area too, because there's some talented kids that just not exposed to that type of play, and that's what we're trying to offer.
I guess I forgot one of your most important hats. I said you were wearing multiple hats here this weekend, so you've got your college coaching duties, and I looked through on your website for Crew that you have you've obviously worked on the compliance part of that, and you've worked through how that needs to be handled. And then you've got the club director side of that, but you've also got the dad hat, right?
Oh, yes.
So we didn't talk about that yet. You've got your own young one out here going at it too.
Yeah, and it's funny. I think I was reading something about how these club teams started. Like T Street and things like that. They got get involved with their daughters and so forth. And my daughter, that's one reason I got into coaching club a few years ago, and it kind of grew. We've been successful with some kids that she's been playing with. But it's fun. I mean, and now I get invested in these other young ladies, where if I can give my time out and help grow the game in that area, I mean, but it did start with my daughter for sure. She's done a great job of handling me as a coach and a father. But yeah, we're doing our thing, and it's really helped me expand, who I am for sure.
Mario Andaya is the club director, the master coach for Central Region United Volleyball Club in Central Washington. You just mentioned T Street. We're talking about Huskies volleyball. That was another testament to what has been built there in Seattle, because you talked about T Street. How about that when Southern California kids are flocking up the coast to Washington? Their roster is sort of like T Street North. It's T Street graduated.
Right. There's some talent down there.
So, Southern California, obviously the hotbed, and those players could have played anywhere.
Right.
And they chose to head up to your state. So I would imagine it's great for the Huskies, but it's really great for everybody in volleyball in the state of Washington.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I coach a Division II school. We feed off what those big dogs are doing, and even for us, just getting the exposure from these big-time programs over there helps our recruiting at my school where I work with. I got almost a third of my rosters out of state, which is unheard of for a regional school, and so that's a good deal when you get talent like that coming from Southern California to play for, the Huskies or Washington State or something like that. We're all for it, for sure.
So what's your schedule like? You've done for the day today with your 18s Baden team, and then tomorrow you'll have a couple more and then move into bracket play, right?
Yeah, I think we go right into some sort of bracket. Yeah, and so I think we're playing Milwaukee Sting, so we got our hands.
It just gets easier tomorrow,
right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
You're gonna sleep. You're gonna sleep great tonight.
But that's what we signed up for.
Yeah. So what? I guess your comment on this with you starting the club. I know you've been here before. You've been through this process before, but now that you're in the chair you're in with this club, what is your overall observation of the Triple Crown Volleyball NIT? What is it that would make I know you talked about the high level competition, but are there other elements to it that make you want to put this on your calendar?
I just think the atmosphere. I mean, for us, one of our philosophies for the club we're trying to sell is we want these like-minded kids from our area to pool together and train at a high level and compete at a high level. And when we get to a tournament like this, these are all like-minded kids. They're training, they're going at it. They're passionate about the sport. So just to put our kids in this environment, I think will elevate what we're trying to do over in our area.
As you carve out your niche with the crew, before we let you go, anything we didn't cover about Central Region United that we need to talk about?
No, I appreciate the shout out for sure, and let me come up here. But our Washington area and Washington State area, it's a fun area. It's growing in the game, and I think opportunities like this to come out and play something like this is, that's what we're pumped up for every year. So if they keep this going, we'd love to be a part of it.
That's Mario Andaya with Central Region United Volleyball Club. Thanks for your time today. Good luck with the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, thank you.